Cole Younger, 1844 to 1916. Buried here in the Lee's Summit Historical Cemetery in Lee's Summit, Missouri. Cole Younger, he was a kind of a post-Civil War outlaw. Kind of really found his way into American folklore. But he's quite a brutal individual, heartless, cold-blooded murderer. Cole first killed somebody when he was 17, and he was wanted dead or alive by the age of 18. He's credited with killing dozens of people, including a lot of innocent bystanders. He was born here, actually in Lee's Summit, and son of a fairly wealthy family, or not wealthy but well-to-do. His father was robbed and killed by members of the Kansas City or the Kansas militia, and that just kind of started Cole off. Just kind of started him off in his life of crime. He joined the Confederate Raiders during the Civil War and participated in many daring and bloody exploits, including the infamous Lawrence, Kansas massacre. He was 18 at the time, and he was basically part of it because he owned a revolver. He eventually got the rank of captain, and he led his own company. At the end of the Civil War, near the end of the Civil War, he returned home and kind of assumed kind of a desperado, robbing banks and trains and stage coaches with Jesse James, and then at times his own gang. Cole and his younger brother were all involved in it. Kind of things started going bad by 1876. They had some issues there with robbing a bank up in Northfield, and Younger was captured. He was tried and sentenced to 25 years in state prison up in Minnesota. He became quite the hero there, though, helping protect the women convicts during a terrible fire that they had there. He was eventually paroled and obtained a pardon at the age of 59. He worked in Stillwater making tombstones. He later teamed up with Frank James to form a Wild West show, and he found religion at that time as well. Cole purchased a home here in Lee's Summit when he returned home, and tried to live a more moral life. He died in his own bed of heart and kidney failure at the age of 72, and upon his autopsy they found 14 bullets were still embedded in his body, so he definitely lived longer than he probably should have. So yeah, here's the grave of Cole Younger, outlaw, showman, partner with Jesse James in many different crimes, and obviously convicted felon that later came around and tried to do good. Like I said, he's buried here in Lee's Summit, Missouri, at the Lee's Summit Historical Cemetery. He's right on the intersection here of Langsford and Highway 291, which you can hear and see in the background there. So you can find this big monument, the Colburn Monument. He's right in front of it here with his with the rest of his family. Very nice, well taken care of cemetery here. Like I said, real easy to find. Cole Younger, 1844 to 1916. Rest in peace, our dear beloved. James Hardin Younger, known as Jim, 1848 to 1902. He was the younger brother of Cole Younger, famous outlaw. James also was an outlaw. He, along with his other brothers, and Cole there, they joined he joined the Confederate Army and served with some of the raiders there. He he was captured in 1864 by Union troops and was imprisoned until the end of the war. Then he joined the James Younger Gang, that's the Jesse James Younger Gang, in 1873, and he participated in a lot of the robberies until his brother was killed in Roscoe, Missouri in 1864. He left the gang and he went to work out in California. In 1876 he returned to the gang and was part of the Northfield, Minnesota bank robbery. And during that robbery he was shot, captured, and sentenced to life imprisonment. He was paroled in 1901, and he committed suicide about a year later in 1902. So he was captured with his brother Cole in that same Northfield robbery, and then again died about a year after his release. And he's buried here in the Lee Summit Historical Cemetery in Lee Summit, Missouri. Again, right at the intersection of the highway behind me there. So pretty easy to find. So at the grave of Robert Younger. He was an American outlaw. He was born here in Lee Summit. He's the brother of Cole and Jim Younger, his brothers, the other outlaws. And he was a member of the Jesse James Younger Gang. He also served in the Confederate Army, like his brothers. And in September 1876, when they attempted to rob the bank up in Northfield, Minnesota, the townspeople fought back, and Robert was shot, and he was convicted and imprisoned there in Minnesota, along with James and Cole. Terrible botched robbery, and he would die of tuberculosis at the age of 35 in the prison. So he's buried here in the Lee Summit Cemetery in Lee Summit, Missouri, with his brother James and brother Cole.